If you're working with AI these days, it can seriously feel like you're living in a totally different world. The speed of everything is just insane. But here's the thing I want you to hear. You are not behind. Not yet. And today we're going to talk about the exact technology that's causing this massive shift and make sure you're not just keeping up, but actually getting ahead of the curve. This quote from Jack Clark at Anthropic just nails it, right? That feeling of a parallel world and the technology that's building this new world, it's what we call AI agents. These are systems that can think, plan, and act all on their own. And believe me, they are a massive turning point in how we all get work done. But here's the best part. A year ago, if you wanted to build something like this, you needed to be a developer. It was complicated stuff. Now, not anymore. The tools have gotten so good that literally anyone, and I mean anyone, can start building incredibly powerful AI agents without writing a single line of code. And this is your guide to doing exactly that. So we've got a really clear plan for you today. First, we'll cover what an agent even is. Then we'll lay out a strategic game plan. After that, we'll actually build one. We'll cover the common mistakes to avoid. And finally, we'll talk about the critical new skill you're actually developing through all of this. So let's start with the absolute basics. What exactly is an AI agent? You hear the term thrown around a lot, but the core idea is actually pretty simple once you break it down. Honestly, the best way to think about an agent is to picture it as a digital employee. You give it a goal, not a list of steps, but a goal, and it uses its own ability to reason, to plan, and to take action to make it happen. It's not just following a script, it's actively trying to solve the problem for you. And this slide is super important for understanding the difference. A chatbot, it answers your questions. It's a conversation partner. A traditional automation, it just follows a rigid, predefined script. If A happens, do B. But an agent is a problem solver. It understands your intent and figures out its own path to get you the result. So, how does the magic happen? Well, it really comes down to these three parts. First, an agent has a brain. That's a large language model like GPT-4, which does the thinking and planning. Then, it has memory, both for what's happening right now and for knowledge it can pull from. And most importantly, it has tools. These are the connections to other apps that let it actually do things in the real world, like browse a website, send an email, or update your CRM. For right now, the perfect mental model is to think of them as a really smart junior employee. They are fantastic at execution, at doing the work, but they still need you for the high-level oversight and judgment. This completely changes your role from being the doer of tasks to the director of the work. You set the strategy, and the agent handles the grind. Okay, so let's get strategic. Before you even think about touching a tool, the most important work you'll do happens completely away from the computer. You have to remember this. Strategy always comes before technology. Here's the game plan, and it's super simple. Step 1, document. Literally write down every single click, every copy-paste of a process you do regularly. You'll be amazed what you find. Step 2, optimize. Often, you can just cut out useless steps before you even bring in AI. And then, and only then, step 3 is to evaluate what's left to find the perfect piece to automate. And this rubric is your cheat sheet for that evaluation step. The perfect tasks for your first agent are the ones that are high frequency, super time-consuming, use structured data, and have a really clear definition of success. So don't try to automate marketing. That's way too vague. Instead, pick something specific like qualifying new leads from our website contact form. That's a perfect target. All right, everybody, listen up. If you remember one thing from this whole explainer, please make it this slide. You have to start with low-precision tasks. What does that mean? It means picking tasks where getting it 90% right is a massive win, and if it makes a small mistake, who cares? It's no big deal. Stay away, far away, from high-precision tasks like accounting or legal reviews for now. Let the agents earn your trust on safer ground first. Because look, the goal isn't to automate your entire job on day one. The biggest, most powerful win you can get right now is turning a repetitive 4-hour task into 30 minutes of you just providing some high-level judgment. You do that for 2 or 3 workflows, and you've completely transformed your work week. All right, enough with the theory. We've got our plan, we've got our strategy. Now for the fun part. Let's move from plan to action and actually see what it looks like to build one of these things, no code involved. So, you've got 2 main ways to go. Think of Zapier like an airplane on autopilot. You just tell it where you want to go, and it figures out how to get there. It's incredibly fast and easy. Then you have N8N, which is like being in the full cockpit. You are the pilot. You have control over every single switch and dial, which gives you a ton of power and customization. This quote right here, this captures that magic moment. In the example this came from, the user gave the agent a simple link. The agent looked at it and basically said to itself, you know what? This isn't good enough. I'm going to find a better source on my own. It wasn't following a script, it was reasoning. It adapted to achieve the goal. That's the difference. And for those of you who want that deeper control, NAN's visual builder is just amazing. It literally shows you the brain, the memory, and the tools we talked about as these little blocks that you can connect. It's the perfect way to see exactly how your agent is thinking and to control every single step it takes. Okay, so you know the what, the why, and the how, but there is a huge difference between building an agent that just works and building one that works well and reliably. So let's cover the common pitfalls you need to avoid. There are really 3 keys to long-term success here. First, data quality. It's the oldest rule in tech. Garbage in, garbage out. It has never been more true than it is with AI. Second, graduated autonomy. Don't just set it and forget it. Start with a human in the loop where you approve the final steps. Let the agent earn your trust over time. And third, you have to build in guardrails, safety nets, to stop it from making bad decisions or getting stuck in a loop. And look, you can't improve what you don't measure. From the very beginning, you have to track the metrics that matter. How much time are you actually saving? Is the quality of the work as good as a human's? And is it having a real impact on your business goals? These numbers will be your guide as you make your agent better and better. Okay, let's zoom out for this last section. As we wrap up, I want to reframe what you're really learning here, because this isn't just about getting good at using a new piece of software. It's much bigger than that. Every single step in this process we've walked through, from documenting a workflow to building the agent to measuring its impact, all of it adds up to what is quickly becoming one of the single most valuable skills you can have in the professional world. And that skill is agent literacy. It's the ability to look at a process and see the opportunity for automation. It's about designing these systems, managing them, and measuring their results. This way of thinking is so much more valuable than just being an expert in one particular tool. So I'm going to leave you with this one question. Forget all the hype about replacing jobs for a minute. Just think about your own week. What is that one nagging 4-hour task that you just hate doing? What if you could turn that into a 30-minute exercise where you just provide the final judgment? Start right there. That is your first step into that parallel world.